Are we ready?
Are we ready? Let's begin. Hi. Yeah, all the scary sounds. Hello. Welcome, all you beautiful humans, to, Monday/Tuesday here on the Amigos Co. Joined by Legion Vapes of Northern New South Wales. Randall's reviews of Las Vegas. Randallville. Randallville in Las Vegas. We'd like to welcome you to the Amigos Co.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's my intro. I had nothing else. My mouth decided to stop working just as I was like halfway through that. Randall, review. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going pretty good. I kind of took some time off of doing the reviews the week before last, but this past week I did a tasting review of something. So if I'm not going to spoil it, but man, I got to tell you, bring your doggy bag, because you're going to want some.
Wasn't that recipe you were talking about before we went live, was it? Because that's pretty gross.
Well, there was a little bit of that, but just less spit. No.
Yeah, I always figured you were a swallow person, not a spit person.
It depends if it's humid out. Anyway, Steve, what's up with you?
Same old shit. I'm sitting here surrounded by toys and gear and not being as productive as I should be. Now, I've been playing with musical gear for the last couple of days, so this is kind of like I set myself this show as the turning point. I put the music aside for a couple of days, and I'll power down through some editing and some filming. Yeah, those have to go in the other order. But yeah, I'll being productive. That's what's going to happen. But yeah, been making music. That's what I've been doing.
We should next time I go live, I should actually leave the mics open in the pre-show, because always the interesting, and controversial, scandalous discussion happens in the pre-shows of any live stream show.
Of course, that's when you get it out. You're just like, did you hear what this guy did? And that person quit, and this person said that. And
here's my cuss.
Yes.
Yep.
I just want to point out real quick, Greg Ombetsky says Randall Ranch, the potato capital of August. Now, Steve, you got a competitor, because now it's Randall's Ranch and Legion A's. Now we just need some weird fluid from Breeze Tones, and then we're good. Actually, there is a new fluid from Breeze Tones, but it's more of a liquid, right? It's a 15-ass picture that Steve took today on a soundboard, and it had Breeze and then Tones and then the soundboard. Anyways, Steve, that was a great picture.
I didn't even pick up that entendre there.
See, I told you no one would make that thing. It's like it's sound and tones, and it's a thing.
Yeah. Oh, the tones part was a flavor descriptor, so yeah.
Speaking of tones, I have been enjoying this. I've just started it this morning, so my full review is still to come, but it is really good. You've done an excellent job with this. It is not what I expected. When you said peanut butter thick shake, I was expecting a lot creamier, a lot more vanilla undertones, which is like a little bit of it's not only heavy on the peanut, it's or peanut butter, but I'm getting tones of, see, there's that word, tones. I'm getting tones of like an organic peanut butter, like not that sugary crap peanut butter. This has got nuts. There's that aftertaste. This is going to sound like I'm being really pretentious, but when you get the peanuts that still have that sort of orangey, or not orangey, reddish
the
skin on them,
Mm-hmm.
That's in the aftertaste. I don't know how you did that, but it's there. Don't tell me your secrets, but yeah, I'm noticing it. It's very, very good.
Oh, thank you. There was can we talk about this for a bit? Because I don't think I've actually talked about it online, and I'd like to put it out there at least so it's up. And there was the fellas from Frank and Atticus. They're incredible builders of recipes, and I think one of the main things with peanut butter, because I'm a peanut butter fiend, I asked them to really break down the situation of peanut butter. When you think about peanut butter, think of, if you're a peanut butter lover, you could probably name 3 brands of peanut butter that you love, that you probably buy on occasion. And they are of all very different in their composition. You know, one might be like super creamy, the other one might be super peanut forward and maybe not so creamy, you know, and then one is another one entirely, you know, like it's a textural thing that you really like about it. I was saying, or we were having massive discussions about roast level of peanuts and the intricacies of what they add to it. If you have a natural peanut butter, you know, doesn't have any of that, you know, fatty situation going on in your palate, you know, so the discussion of trying to break down the profile of the roast of the peanuts was a really, really very, very big thing. And the layering of the creams, you know, like I'm sure they'll be happy if I said this, but it's a really very complex recipe compared to, you know, a lot of things that they do at Frankenatticus, and that was a huge part of it. Hence why the descriptor, you know, says, you know, to challenge your sensory perception, because yes, we used the word thick shake, but we needed a term for, you know, for the majority of people to go, oh, okay, it's going to be cream, milk, and ice cream. Yeah, you know, but it really is a recipe based on creams and delicate acidity of peanuts, you know, and the roast level of those peanuts. And, you know, like no peanuts are the same. As I said, let's go back to, you know, the 3 brands of peanut butter that you like. The peanut component, take the butter out, the peanuts themselves all have different, you know, levels of roast, or like you said, astringency from skin, Steve, or a buttery, fatty component to the peanuts as opposed to like straight up peanut acidity, you know. So I guess also the other disclaimer that I'm going to say, and then I'll shut up, is that the tasting that was involved in the building of this recipe, I tried to very much disassociate, because again, I have, you know, 25 years of
I was gonna ask
chasing flavors in coffee. Yeah, because that's my whole journey is you know, like is sensory perception and trying to chase and clarify flavors and also describe them in an industry. That's what we do day in, day out. This e-liquid for me is more pushed towards that. You know, when I think things are in crazy good in flavor, generally it's because of clarity, balance, and, you know, the ability to find those delicate things. Like, it's interesting you say, Steve, that the peanut is really, really upfront. For me, it's not. You know, for me, the peanut is meant to sit behind, you know, so the creams and the tactile of the e-liquid is a huge part of it, you know, but the peanut acidity, as opposed to, I mean, I could tell you, you know, 2 of my other favorite peanut butter e-liquids, for me, they're like, wow, peanuts, you know, like punchy in the jaw peanuts. But this e-liquid, the recipe and what I was trying to, you know, I mean, the fellas that did it, I'm just raving now. I mean, you know, they're incredibly good at, saying what, you know, taking what you describe and putting it into flavors. Just, I mean, that's the mastery of e-liquid, is being able to do what you say or do what you describe. Frankenatticus, IMO are very, very good at doing that, but also then taking it and tweaking it so that it, you know, matches the perception of what you have in your brain. So, you know, not everyone is going to love this e-liquid, you know, like that's the reality, because most people want flavor up front, easy to see, you know, like it absolutely matches the descriptor and that whole situation.
Simple.
But yes,
people want simple.
Yeah.
So strawberry tastes like strawberry.
Exactly. But complex.
But if you're talking about strawberry tiramisu, there's multiple layers there, and that confuses people.
100%. You know, so the situation with this was to give complexity, balance, and delicate situation, so that you can find those flavors yourself, because that's the other thing, you know, and I promise I will shut up, you know, the variances on wattage and different devices with this e-liquid, you know, was a huge thing for me as well. You know, some will go, I don't like it at lower wattages, some will say I don't like it at higher wattages, you know, but that's I guess the brilliance of you know, the fellas at Frankenatticus, is that they very much, you know, have accommodated for a bunch of different situations, and you know, all I hope is that people see it for what it is. You know, that's the disclaimer, is that it may not be for everybody, but it will certainly challenge your sensory perception. So, you know, super beyond stoked. Yeah.
All I got to say is, like I said, there are places you can go to get a peanut butter thick shake in the real. and it literally is just like a scoop of whatever generic ice cream they've got and a scoop of Kraft peanut butter, and they just blend it up, and that's what a lot of people expect. There are places in the world where they take a little bit more pride in their menu, and they've got, I don't know, a boutique or a small brand high-end vanilla ice cream that uses very rich buttermilk. They can use an organic peanut butter that's got lots of lovely chunks, and the peanut oils are all through there. It's as much natural oils as possible, and you can get that thick shake that's a real. It's a mastercraft versus something that's we just churn out, and this is much closer to that. Like there's many layers in here, different puffs, different wattages, like you said. Depends how hard I draw on this. I'm getting all sorts of different flavors. I'm definitely getting a lot of that. When I said peanut forward, it's forward, but it's not like peanut and then gone.
Yeah.
It's like there's a creamy thing, and then after that there's the exhale, which is where I said like sort of like the nut skin starts to come in. It's like, ooh, I didn't expect that. That's good. And it's not bitter, it's not dry, it's not unsweetened, but it's definitely not a massive sugar fest.
Yeah.
Which is a real nice change.
Yeah. Well,
I think that one thing too, a lot of people don't realize is that there are things that are considered like top tier flavors on certain aspects of whether it's food or drinks or whatever. And a lot of people aren't used to that kind of palate. And a lot of people don't understand the difference between like high quality stuff and low quality stuff. Like Steve said, you can go anywhere in the United States and any DQ, and you're going to like, it's Dairy Queen, and you're going to get like, say this is a peanut butter thick shake. Steve's absolutely right. They're just globbing a cheap peanut butter in there, mixing it up, and people think it's good because it's full of sugar. They don't understand the difference in the tones. And I think that's going to be a cool thing for you to see. Also, as a creator or someone that creates something, you might not like all the feedback, like some people is like, when they have the opinions. But I think it's cool that you're going to see how many other people out there have the same idea that you do about the flavor. You know what I mean? It's gonna set like a standard of like the quality that you can create with what you're going to do, and then the flavors behind you, because I don't think that there's too much more. I mean, like you can get more intimate with some things, but I think that's an intimate thing that you're sharing with the community and with vapors is how you think things should taste. And that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's hugely, subjective. Again, God, 20 years plus of smoking, and it does some pretty crazy things to your sensory perception, and then you get presented with something that is not upfront. It can be quite challenging, and I think that was really the situation, was that we would bend your mind a little bit by getting sweetness from cream as opposed to sweetness from a sweet peanut butter or whatever the situation may be, or the vanilla ice cream, like it was meant to kind of challenge everybody. So I'm fucking stoked. I'm just going to say it. I'm stoked, and I hope that everybody else is stoked too. But totally subjective opinions, and absolutely everyone will have an opinion.
I think I said this last week to you, but I mean, you made it happen. It is what you wanted it to be, and you made something in the world. And if he just stops there, you've succeeded.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if people like it or not. I hope they do. I hope a lot of people give it a chance. I hope a lot of the peanut butter fans specifically go looking for it, and they find what they want. But even if they don't, just getting to this point, I think you've
and I gotta
got a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, man. And I got to give you props for it, because someone that's been around, people that mix liquids and make liquids, like in commercially, or people that have ideas and stuff like that. A lot of times in this industry, you see someone bring in a flavor of a different company. Let me make this the same thing. Let me make this, or let me do this. And like, you didn't do any of that. You didn't come in, you didn't try to play it safe. You came in and you're like, this is what I like. This is the best flavor I can put together that I think is amazing. And you put it out there, man. And I think that's a big thing in this industry right now. Because like, how many fucking lemonades are out there? How many lemonades? You know what I mean? Or how many strawberry cakes or something like that? This is something that's completely different. And congratulations, man.
Oh, much appreciated. Sorry to everyone, we're rabbiting on about that, but it's nice to talk about it finally, I guess. And it is finally hitting the stores here in Australia. I do know that it's gone into a few, and I mean, time will tell.
I got notification last night. I think Geelong and Victory Vape and someone else were all announcing that they got their stock in. So
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
if you are curious about it, you can get your hands on it now.
We're hoping that it does well because there may be a couple waiting in the wings. Just going to say that.
Celery and cheese.
Celery and cheese and beef.
Why don't ruin celery? Come on.
Beef stroganoff and mineral water. Yeah.
What's the beef doing now?
Yeah.
I wonder if he could. Never mind. I'm not gonna put that out there. Beef broth. No.
Yeah. Bisque. What was that? Lobster bisque. Yep.
Hey,
Arby's gets into vaping.
You could do
on the coil.
e-liquid for nursing mothers, bone broth.
Come on now. Can we? We haven't addressed the chat. Can I just address the chat really quickly because there's lots of the fan bam is here. Tigets was here early. I'm sure he's stepping out or he's doing some stuff. Dennis Michael, Mr. Overdrip, Uncle Overdrip. Hi, Chris. Shannon Brown, Michael, Matthew Welch is here, Rex Vapes is here, Chris is here, the great Rob Atsky. Yeah, did you see what I did there? Rob Atsky. Mowgli's here, of course. Hello, Mowgli. Ern's here. Dennis Michael. I said Dennis Michael. Why is my brain always going to that? Frames Janklin.
Hail to the king, baby.
Yes, indeed. All the love in the world to Frames Janklin and his house at this present moment in time. That's all I'm going to say there. We love you, man, and we love you, fam. Gurgly kiss. I probably just murdered that. We will talk a little bit about that if you like. The Canadian situation is not good, but yeah, we just want to thank you for coming in the chat and listening to these three heads talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
I hear birdies.
Oh yeah. It's wildlife. The Adelaide Wildlife Sanctuary out the front of my house, out the back.
I always know if I hear wildlife, it's coming from your side, because apparently where Chris lives, it's just a nuclear wasteland. There's just nothing but crack hose and heroin dealers from corner to corner, just the way he likes it.
But what about outside his apartment? Yeah.
Did you say crack hose again?
Shop smart, shop S-smart.
That had nothing to do with
it. Oh man, but yeah. So I didn't get to look into the Canadian stuff. It was a busy day today. What happened? You guys have any info on
that? Today,
it's a big one.
Yeah. Have you got? Is there more stuff that's happened today? I haven't. I've tried to stay away from the news today. It's the first time in a while because I just needed to step away. So
I don't think there's anything like new, fresh within the last 24-hour news cycle. It's the same as we talked about on Sunday, which is they've got a nicotine cap coming. That's pretty much a foregone conclusion. And there is a proposal on the books for a flavor ban. It's not voted through yet, but it's being pushed, and it looks like it's pretty much going to go through. Which means that
menthol and tobacco.
Menthol and tobacco.
Yeah, will
be the only flavors allowed within Canada. Not 100% sure about how far that will be implemented. Of course, it's going to cover e-liquid and pre-filled devices across the nation. Don't know if it's going to affect the DIY situation or 0 milligram. That's a beautiful pussy you've got there.
Sorry.
Yeah. Distract me with your pussy. That's not fair. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know how it's going to affect the DIY situation across the country. And as we said on Sunday, yeah, the hardcore and the hobbyists will always find a way through. You'll find a way to get some ingredients, some flavors. You'll be able to make what you want. My biggest concern, as always, is that first tier of entry level. They've only been doing it for a little while, and those who haven't yet made the switch. It's one of the most mind-blowingly positive things when you've been smoking for 20, 25 years and you grab a device and you go, tangerine? That's weird. And you take a puff and you go, well, that tastes nice.
Yeah.
And then you take 2 more puffs and you go, and I don't feel like a cigarette,
Yep.
and I don't stink, and all of a sudden, all those little things that vapors have been saying around you for years now, they start falling into place. That light bulb moment, you get it. Flavors are an important transition point for a lot of people, and when you take them off the shelves, you take them out of the market, you really hinder people's reasons for transitioning.
100%. Just while we're talking about Canada for the moment, the save the date for Rights for Vapors. Rights for Vapors situation is August 21 in Ottawa. There is a Save Our Flavors protest. Rights for Vapors at Rights #4 Vapors on Twitter. You can find out the information. That's in conjunction with the CDVQ. I know that's a French name, and I'm not going to mess that up, but that is coming out. So August 21 really is not very far away, but there's a chance to have your say, I guess, in a peaceful protest situation.
I'll get those posted up on socials too.
Yeah. I've got that there, but that's not great. I'm just showing it from my phone. But our biggest love to all of the Canadian family for the situation.
Yeah.
It's going to work out.
Sometimes when it comes to bad legislation, and I know there's voices in our industry that don't agree with this. They feel like if you give an inch, you've given a mile, and you're just going to lose because you should never give up anything. And sometimes I think compromise is an important tool that we have. So I'm not sure if this is possible in the fight there, but if they're talking about a blanket flavor ban, I would propose what we've seen happen in other places, which is try to maintain the ability to have flavors within adult-only specialist shops. So you pull out the flavors from the convenience stores, you pull them out from the gas stations, you pull them out from the grocery stores, because America's different from here, or Canada's different from here. But you keep the ability to get your peanut butter thick shake and your lemonade and your strawberry or cherry tiramisu or whatever from the actual authorized vape stores. From the convenience stores, you pull them out from
Sorry.
Whoop. Yeah. So that may make like I said, it's a bit of a compromise, but it may, if they're going to put something through anyway, if they're selling this on the Protect the Kids, then yeah, that may be the compromise that may work.
I got something that I want to toss in there too, just from experience of like, what I do for a living. So if you're a DIYer, I know there's a couple people out there that do that in Canada and stuff like that. Make sure that if you're buying flavors from companies that aren't like specifically for vape, like Flavor Raw, like, that's basically a vape juice company, right? Like you would buy the flavor stuff like that. But if you're buying from people that sell flavoring, food flavoring, make sure that you're putting it down as like, if you have to put some kind of business down when you're doing it as a restaurant, or make sure you put it down as something else besides vaping, because there's some companies now that, because of the ban with the mail and all that stuff, and then like the USPS and then the postage mail and like the PACT Act and all that going on in the States, some flavor companies are taking it upon themselves to declare that this flavor is being sent to a nicotine producing company, which means that if this ban goes into effect in Canada, right, and you're trying to order these flavors,
that's
most likely if it's from out of the country, it's going to be stopped at the port or that, at customs, or they might not even sell to you directly. And the thing is, these flavor companies, they're food flavoring companies. They don't have to tell what their customers are using their stuff for. They don't.
Yeah.
Not one bit. It has nothing to do with them whatsoever. That's like putting a warning on AA batteries that this might go into a vibrator if you don't like sex or something stupid like that. You know what I mean? And so make sure that if you're doing this, you're doing that. You're not saying that, because like I know I'm not telling you to break the law, but if you're going to do it, be smart about it. Don't put anything on there that has anything to do with vaping. And the experience that I've had recently with stuff, a couple companies take it upon themselves to do that, which means that it could probably get stopped in port if you're importing it from to Canada from the United States. I have no idea about Canadian flavor companies. I've never done any work with them, but I will say if you're buying from America, or even if you're an American citizen and you're doing your DIY stuff, or you're doing your side hustle thing, blah blah blah, whatever, make sure that you're doing it smart.
That does raise a couple of different topics here. Just one I'm going to address in the chat. Neil Pitts, will that stop e-juice being imported? 100%. I know that the Canadian Border Force are much more on the ball than the Australian Border Force. They know their shit, and they are on every single package, not just for contraband, but also Canada, unlike Australia, likes to charge a little bit for everything that crosses the border.
Yeah.
So they're on top of everything. So yeah, if you are a consumer purchasing e-liquid that contains liquid or e-liquid for vaping, if the law goes through and it includes 0 milligram, then if you're bringing it across the border, it's got to abide by possession laws, what you're allowed to have within Canada, and it will get seized and destroyed if that passes. Absolutely. That's a little bit different from ordering flavors, as Chris was talking about there. But it does raise that question, because a lot of what you're talking about applies mostly to the DIY community.
Yes.
If you've got like me, I've got a legionvapes.com website, so I have a legionvapes.com email that I use for just about everything. And if you're in Canada and you do that, maybe get yourself another
burner email.
legionscakes.com or legion, bakingbybirdie@gmail.com or whatever, for ordering your supplies, because a little bit of subterfuge goes a long way. Just kind of like wipe away the vape thing. But that's the DIY people. What hasn't been mentioned by us either now or on Sunday, and I don't know what the long-term effect is going to be here, but there are as every country has, a burgeoning industry of both e-liquid manufacturers, but there's also one of the world's, I can't remember the name of them. We've got LabWorks in chat. You can probably fill me in on this. There is a flavor company that is like one of the top tier. They're very expensive, very, very good stuff. Kind of praised and prized, and they're like really expensive, but they're I think they're in they might be in Montreal. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's that. Yeah. So I don't know. Actually, Mowgli got shut down from ordering from a flavoring company in Quebec, which would be the company I'm talking about. So I can't remember who that is. But yeah, they're pretty high end. I don't know what the effect of this is going to be on industry. I mean, they've talked. We saw that thing going, well, yeah, the vape sales will go down, but we'll make up for it with tobacco sales. I mean, these dual users will switch back to tobacco anyway, which is stupid. We know that, but is also kind of based in fact that yes, a lot of dual users, that transitional stage, even those that aren't dual using, they've just managed to make that switch, and for them, what works is Apple or Blueberry or whatever. You've taken that away, and now you've got like something that doesn't taste like cigarettes, menthol, which I may not like, mint, which I may not like, or fuck it, I'll just go back to smoking. A lot of the people will do that. But the long-term vapors,
go figure it out.
We're not going back to smoking. We're adamant. We're hardcore. We will find a way to get our flavors, and fuck you. So it's not like the government's going to recoup those sales. It's not like the majority of vapors will return to tobacco, and now the government's doing better with their income. It's it's weird.
Neil in the chat said, well, they consider DIY a criminal offense. So here's the thing with stuff like that. I obviously haven't read the law, like what the proposed, regulations and stuff like that's going to be. So I can't tell you off top hand. But I will say this: if you're in possession of over whatever they're legally allowed to sell, yeah, you're breaking the law. I mean, you can have you mix at home and you do it for yourself.
Hold on. It's illegal to sell cakes that you make in your kitchen commercially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a law, and most places have this about
you have to have a health license.
A health license and proper facilities, and you got to have so many sinks and so many. The equipment has to be sterilized at this temperature and all that. So in order to move to that professional level of selling cakes, you need to invest some time or money, or there are kitchens out there that go through rotation. They're designed for these small businesses. It's like Monday and Tuesday is these guys, and the rest of the week are these guys, because they share it. But the thing is, it's not illegal to possess a kitchen-made cake. So it may be this sort of transferable concept here. You may be able to possess strawberry flavored e-liquid, but it's illegal to sell or to that sort of thing. So it may end up being perfectly fine to make up your own e-liquid. You just can't give it away or sell it to anyone.
Yeah. You definitely I would suggest if you're there, look into the law, because like if it's going to affect you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
it depends on how the law is written, and these are two very, very different things: possession versus retail.
Distributing.
Yeah, distribution and that sort of thing.
Rights for vapors is definitely a place to be looking at. They've been talking a lot about the proposals in that situation. Got to do that. All our love. The other thing that I wanted to say, I know, yes, this is coming in and all that situation, but there is a huge amount of very, very powerful advocates in Canada that are based in Canada, so it's not going to go down quietly. There's no doubt. Yeah.
Neil Pitts is saying, I'm asking if flavored e-juice is illegal. If they're doing a flavor ban, I would assume possession of it would be like, a citation or something.
Again, I have to pull back and say that it depends on when we throw out words flavor ban, but what are they banning? They're banning the flavor, banning the product, just like in certain states or in certain places, you can't have a semi-automatic machine gun. That's banned. At certain places, you can have them with a license, but you can't sell them. And the same sort of thing here. We don't have enough information to say which way this law will go. Is it a distribution law, in which case it's okay to have, but not okay to buy or to ship or anything like that, or to sell? Or is it a possession law? And those are two different things. A possession law is much, much harder for them to pass, much, much harder for them to prosecute, and it pretty much means that you're going to have cops walking around everywhere. Yeah, that doesn't smell like mint.
Yeah,
is that strawberry cupcake up against the wall?
Yeah.
Imagine getting cavity search to see if you got a bottle of e-liquid up there.
Strawberry cake. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the wording because that's been out for probably 4 or 5 days now. Like I haven't seen any wording of possession. More a retail situation. So,
speaking as Canadian born, Canadian raised, many decades on the left coast, many decades on the other coast as well. Canadians are very resourceful people.
Yeah.
We found ways of hiding our grow-ups all across the country for decades. And they tried really hard, and they didn't find most of them. So I guarantee you, all they're doing is making black market. Mm-hmm. All they're doing is pushing it under. Yeah, price may go up a little bit. Quality is probably dodgy as fuck. But there will be little e-liquid labs popping up in little warehouses and in people's basements, and there'll be shipment. I mean, it will become just like the market for weed was back in the 80s. I mean, that's simple. And we've all we've seen those cartoons. That ever since this has been a fight, we've seen cartoons of the guys. What do you want? I got hazelnut. I got strawberry. Got lemonade. I mean, it will literally become that because they made it that.
Yeah. Indeed.
I gotta point this out though. I think that hopefully legislation works out better for everyone and stuff like this. But this is what pushes the creative people and the ingenuitive people to create great things. When you think about how vaping became real popular in the West Coast out here about 8-9 years ago or whatever it was, a lot of them were like ex-convicts, a lot of them were felons, a lot of them were like ex-addicts or just people that were in between areas, you know what I mean? And they created this, they helped create these devices and make them a lot easier for stuff. So hard times, yes, they suck, but they make the people that have really a good talent to make something great shine. So that's the silver lining in all this.
Yeah. Just changing tact for a bit. We haven't talked about what we're currently vaping. Would you like to do that?
You sound very somber and sober when you say that.
I was trying to tangent away from a very serious topic into a little bit of lighthearted buffet action. Yes, we probably should do that because otherwise we're just going to get the rage on. Rage on. Yep.
There's a vamp. Wait.
So, Chris, jump in anytime.
All right, fine. I'm actually refilling right now. Anarchist orange, pineapple, orange citrus, and we got it in salt mix now, and I can't put it down. It's fucking great. I haven't touched my full size mod in like maybe a week and a half now, but I do have it here for when I'm at the desk, and I do have in there Homeboy Tropical.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, that's all I got. Steven.
I have an array of devices before me. Most of them are pretty damn good. The first one is the Aegis and the Drop 1.5, which I've already shown you. I've been picking it up nonstop. This has got that peanut butter thick shake from. Sorry, he wasn't laughing. Had a cough there. From Frankentones. That's it's some nice shiznit. I don't know why it's a shiznit, but it's.
Can we use that in promotional material? It's the shiznit.
Yeah, be my guest. I've also got a new device. This is the Ageless from Uwell, and you might look. It's kind of familiar. It's got that potty type thing on the top. It's got leather on the back. It's got a gunmetal body. Yeah, it looks a lot like a drag, but it's not a bad little setup. It comes with, or doesn't come with, you can get a 510 adapter for it. I haven't tried it yet. Works really nice, and as Adam knows, I'm a big fan of devices that you turn on and you use, and that's it. You don't worry about extra modes or shit that you don't use. Happy to say, it's exactly what we were talking about on Sunday. It's a single battery device with no extra frills, and it does the job. Do like that quite a bit.
What did you say it was called?
The Ageless, Aeglos.
Interesting. Yeah.
And no, it's not waterproof. It's not drop proof. It's not shockproof. It's not an Aegis. It's an Ageless.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they kind of took the idea from the drag, and then they took the name from Geek Vape. But it works. It's a nice device.
Yep.
Moving into the potty sort of things, I showed you this yesterday or Sunday. The Nevox Pagey, whatever it's called, really thin little credit card sized little doodad. Just realizing I've still got the thing on it. Ooh, there we go.
Wait, was that your beard hair or was that the film?
That was the film, and it wasn't as satisfying as I'd hoped, which is a bit sad. Yeah, tiny little device, works really well. I didn't mention the other day when I showed you this. This is actually a, if I can get this off of here. It's a 510 drip tip, so I can switch that out.
Oh, nice.
Don't have one sitting there. So I'll just put this back and...
A 510 drip tip?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Man, I haven't seen one of those like popping in a while, you know?
But yeah, you can swap that out with anything you want. And it does come with another one in the box designed more for the direct lung setup.
If I sent you a 510 drip tip that had the girl with her boobs and her body, would you use it on the camera?
Why not?
I might have access to a bunch of those. I'm just saying.
For reals?
Yeah, 510 though. That's why I have them because no
Wow.
one uses 510.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
Byron Bay chocolate milk, quite nice.
Nice.
Quite nice in that setup, actually. And finally, the new Hell Vape device. This is it says it right there. You can't see it. It says Ares solid aluminum or billet aluminum, they call it. It's fully CNC'd. It's
I like that color.
Yeah, it's actually really like the color, and I love the finish. It's really nice. Nice curves. Again, straightforward, single battery, no fancy frills, no color. Well, no, it does have color changing if you want to, but no temp control or anything. Very, very straightforward device. And on top, I have the, what the hell is it called? The Y-Rice? It's a difficult name.
Y-Rice.
Yeah, that one, which is a sub-ohm tank that is top fill and top coil load, which is really interesting. There's a ring, you take it off, and you get access to the ports where you can fill it. And it's got an 810 drip tip, so you can replace that. But underneath that, there's a bit, you can just unscrew it. And you're not opening the top. You can just unscrew that whole thing, and the pod will just pop out. It's spring-loaded in there. And it will just pop right out, and you can change it without much worry or fuss, which is a little bit different.
Can you turn it into a hand pistol if the spring's strong enough pinching?
Maybe.
Could you imagine get taken out by like a hot coil of strawberry cupcake? Like, oh.
But we only got one shot. Better make it count.
That sounds like a song. Yeah.
Yeah, and in there I've got where is it? This bottle that I've been smashing through. This is Future Juice. It says it's from their frosted line. So it's a Frosted Flakes and milk, and this is the butterscotch one. And yeah, I got to get on my guy and get some more of this because I've been smashing through it. Butterscotch and caramel and cake. Those three. This doesn't have the cake, but those three are those are my jam. Full on. And yeah, anything with butterscotch, I would just keep going back to it because it just works for me.
Yeah, I'm a massive butterscotch fan as well. Absolutely. And if you were an Australian, you would have said, "Oh, smashing it, bro." Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to put that translation in there. So that would be me. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the billet box and the NFG.
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I have the. I almost got the timing right. That was very good. Billet box that has in there cornflake cookie by Baked. That is just straight up the cornflake sugar cookie is borrow only e-liquid for me because it's a little indulgence. I have reset up my KFun 2019 on the stunning Onigen rDNA 75C provided by an outstanding human with a little DHT ghost tip on there, a little micro tip, which is very small for my big fat lips. But
you need a longer one with like a naked lady or something.
I need a longer one with a naked human. That's right. So that's that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you to the sound department. That one has in there Strawberry Cookie by Sad Boy, which is another cookie action. As you can tell the theme that's going on here. I do have the Jug V2 by QP on the Big Boy Odin 250C. That has actually an e-liquid that I happen to know quite well. The Shakedown, that one has it in there. And still, the Denali 20X700 Snowcap mods, my favorite mech of all time, with the Nightmare 25 on there. And also, that is another DHD tip, Cotton Candy, I think it's called, but it was provided lovely by the Vapors Haze of Western Australia. Mr. Andrew sent me that as a gift. Loving it.
Gotta say, that Snowcap has been in your daily rotation, or at least your weekly show rotation. What is it, 3-4 months now? It's been a while.
Yeah, 100%. It's just, yeah. I think I was thinking the other night that mech, pod, tank, MTL, I must have one of those at all times set up, so I've got the cross-section of stuff. Dual mech, a tank of some description, MTL, and an extra all-in-one kind of situation that's always going on as well. I've got the cross-section. I must have them all. Yeah, but that's it. That's what I'm vapping on.
Quick shout-out to Neil Pitts. Took me a minute to realize what you meant, but yeah, no scratches, no marks, nothing. A lot of fingerprints and stickiness down the side. Lots of spilled e-liquid. I need to give it a clean.
Yeah.
But as far as scratches or marks or dents, no. And I've been using it pretty much since the day it came in, so hasn't really left the table.
Yeah. Should we move now to some motivational blah blahs? Should we do that? Let's do that. I've got a quick and easy one today. This one was You Can Even, motivational blah blahs. This is where you get your dose of inspirational inspo for your life and how to work it out. And this one got me right in the feels today, I must say. Current day thoughts of humans, wondering what's going to happen, what can we do. So here we go. Stop worrying about the world ending today. It's already tomorrow in Australia. I think that says enough. That's yep.
That's a motivational thing that for the entire world is great, and for everyone in Australia, it's like it's the world ending now.
Yeah. I guess the Australian
we had a schedule.
The Australian variation would be it's already tomorrow in New Zealand. I guess that would be. Yeah, no one wants to be told how to run their lives, and I just saw that one this morning. I thought that's perfect. That's perfect for our show. Yeah.
It plays a good part though, because I find myself lately trying to remind myself that anxiety over things that either are going to happen or that are out of my control. I'm just wasting twice as much time worrying about it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Worrying about something never fixes it and never makes it go away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you worry and then your mind jumps into that track of, okay, what am I going to do? Then you immediately bounce off worry. Like worry's a starter point, and then you become proactive and you get something done. You fix the problem. You don't fix the problem, but you bypass it, or you learn how you prepare for whatever it is. You're doing something. But if you sit and worry and you just become like a hamster in a wheel. You're just going around and around and around. You get nowhere.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, which I think we all do in our lives far too much. Just panicking.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, especially because you probably got put yourself in that situation by just running around and around and not getting something done in the first place.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, worrying and not doing anything just makes things worse.
It's a miserable way to live.
Yeah. But it's very easy to get caught in that cycle. So that's that was it for the motivational blah blahs. I don't really have anything else to jump to today. I was trying to take a day away from the news and the doom and gloom. And I'm going to say something controversial. Next week, I'm getting my Bill Gates 5G upgrade.
Nice.
I can't believe I'm actually didn't even think I'd get it this year. I'm sure it brings a lot of subjectivity on whether people want to get the vaccine and all that sort of thing. But I didn't actually think I was going to get one at all this year in Australia. Particularly even in my age group. So I have to say, since I booked the appointment, I've seen more. News articles about how it's good, how it's not good, all that sort of thing. I don't know whether that's just my brain, focusing in all those sort of things. And I don't get scared by a lot of things in life, but I think I may be a little bit concerned. I'm going to say it out loud. It's a scary thing
to be concerned about.
Yeah.
It's a health issue.
Yeah.
But it's funny you say you're going soon, because I'm going to go next week, because I'm not anti-vaccine at all. I'm not at all. I'll just throw it out there. But I've been pushing it off because it might knock me on my ass for a week. You know what I mean? I don't want to take the time off of work.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. But as this is just, I am who I am. They offered a $5 million lottery in Nevada, so I'm going next week. They put me in the lottery, and I'm not saying that if you want to say you do it for everybody else and all the people around you, sure. You know what I mean? Yes, that's something maybe you want to do, or you should do it. But me personally, I fucking love wearing my mask. I love not having anyone talk to me in public. Literally, no one talk to me in public. I wear my mask and I wear my big ass sunglasses I still have from the army. And oh my God, man, I love it. It was cool to stay at home a lot last year. Whatever. I'm happy to be back around, moving around at work, doing stuff like that. I have no problem going in public. Just don't talk to me. So I'm going to miss them. When this is all gone, I'll be like the guys that you see at the airport back in 2012 when we all thought they were crazy. I'm just going to wear a mask all the time. See, I'm just vaccine shots and still wear the mask. I don't care.
I'm just surprised that you didn't take the entire COVID situation as an excuse to start doing some Fallout cosplay. And grab a big metal helmet there, some metal pads, walk around.
No offense to anyone that does cosplay, but I'm not a virgin. That's all I'm going to say.
Can you prove it?
Whoa!
Can you prove it?
She goes to a different school.
None of the past 3 minutes should be taken as legal medical advice. Always endorsed by the panel members.
I ate a dog beef jerky for a random review last week. No one should listen to me.
Mr. Overdrip, I think you might be saying it ain't no thing about getting it done. Have people had it done? If you're in chat, if you've had it done, were you scared as well? Is it something to be? I mean, I had a flu vaccine, a few days ago, and it's amazing the memory of those things. To put your arm out and have a dead arm for a week. I had zero
Do you
bruising.
get that? Do you get the with the flu shot? Do you get the sore spot?
Never.
Because I got mine last week, me and the wife, and she's like aching for a day and a half, and I'm like, "Are you done yet?" I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping on the same side, didn't bother me. It's like,
I tell you what, though, taking my 6-year-old son has been quite an ordeal because he's, he has been needlephobic, I guess, but we've been talking a lot about needles in the last few weeks because, that it's just a part of life and it may need to be a necessity. And, so my son was an absolute champion, getting to have it done. But the person that gave it to me, stabbed my tattoo right in the face. I've got Jean Grey from the X-Men, which takes up the vast majority of my my delt, I guess you call that. Stabbed her right in the face. I was like, could you have gone somewhere else? Stabbed her right in the nose. I was very displeased. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah.
would have been really, really cool if your tattoo had then moved and gone. And his head exploded.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Don't fuck with Jean Grey.
Yeah. Because she said, I'm really sorry about your mermaid. And my brain was like, mermaid? And then gave me the jab. And I was like, wait, that doesn't even look like a mermaid. What are you looking at? Oh, dear. Anyway.
The other stuff, the good stuff.
Yeah. I want one of them. Yeah, can I take a 6-pack home?
I don't know. I know a lot of people are afraid of the vaccine and all this. There's a lot of misinformation and a lot of stuff. And people, you're entitled to be worried about it and stuff like that. But I will say this, and I feel bad because I can't remember what fucking it was for. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. But there's a scar on my arm right here. Yeah, it's not going to show up. I got the fucking soft filter on because I got fat wrinkles on my head. Anyways, I had an open sore on my arm right here when I had to go overseas for a month. Like, it was an open sore, and if you touched it, you could fucking infect your body with it and move it around. So if I can handle that, I'm pretty sure I can handle the shot in the arm and do all that stuff.
Did you get the super serum? Is that what you got?
No, I did get anthrax 18 times, though. Anthrax vaccines 18 times.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, those ones, they can suck a butt. Those were the worst. It's like, it feels like they're feeling like, you ever watch the Wolverine movie where they coat his skull with adamantium or whatever?
Yeah.
And they'll do all that. That's what that felt like. That was like the anthrax shots being like, oh, forget that, man. I'd rather smoke crack. I never have, but I just imagine. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I'm not afraid of it, but as a selfish side, I was waiting for the right incentive.
Yeah. Well, $5 million is, there's 5 million reasons right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know maybe I'd just be like, being a dumbass and thinking to myself, I always tell this year, for the last few months, I'm like, man, you should go get a lottery ticket because we go state line to California, you can buy a lottery ticket, right? And it gets up to like 800 million, or I don't give a, if it's like $350 and a cheeseburger, it's a win. Anyways,
yep.
I keep telling myself like, go play the lottery, and like I'm not gonna go out to state, I'll drive an hour and a half to do it, and then it's like, oh, all I gotta do is get vaccinated and I'm in this lottery. I'm like, maybe like this is the puzzle pieces come together. So soon enough, I'll be on this stream with gold teeth and a couple of girls that have big booties and a name belt that says Sparkle jiggling around as we do these shows. So we'll find out.
Wait. Nevada doesn't have lotteries? What?
No, so you can gamble in Nevada if you're playing like table games, slot machines, and sports betting and stuff like that. But lotteries are not allowed in Nevada because of the casinos having the control. This happened a long time ago, back in like the 50s and 60s.
Wow.
Because there was a lottery way back in the day, and then when the casinos started taking over and doing all that, they didn't want to take any money away at all from it because like, no bullshit in Las Vegas and Southern Nevada, they're the biggest employers. They're the big, they're the power people. So they outlawed the lottery. So like there's no lottery. So you have to drive to the state line in California. You can still win if you're a resident of anywhere else, but you have to buy them in California.
How very interesting. Well, if that's not strong arming, then I don't know what is. That's out of control. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's kind of like, the government has an army. You're not allowed to have your own army. Don't step on the government's toes. And the lottery, the casinos have gambling, and so the government's not allowed to have gambling. Don't step on their toes. They've got an alliance, basically.
Yeah. Sounds like.
And we also, Ern put it in the chat. Sorry, he said Nevada doesn't have a state tax. That's because of the casinos. That's because of all the gambling revenue. So we don't actually I don't pay taxes on like state stuff or anything like that. But I can tell you what though, if you want to get a car registered out here, fuck that, it's a lot of money.
Well, how else are you going to get to the casino without a car? Like, that makes no sense to me.
Uber, mofo. No.
Yeah, Uber. Uber. Folks, we're coming down to the end. Yeah, we're coming down. That went quickly. We were talking about stuff. Would you like to tell us what's coming up this week, Mr. Stephen of Legion Vapes Industries?
Let's see. This week, tomorrow, Monday. No, tomorrow's not Monday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Wednesday morning. Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna hang out and have some coffee. You're all gonna come over to my channel. We're gonna hang out, have coffee in the morning, and talk about I don't know, stuff. And then I'm gonna do some reviews, and they will probably come up later than they should, but they'll get done. And then on Sunday we have the Aussie Vape Show, and in between all of that, I'm gonna go do the dishes. It's on my mind. They're sitting there. We have a problem in this house. Yeah, no one will do them but me. I'm tired of doing them.
Yep.
And we have two people who like to have nice long hot showers in the morning. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go do the dishes before the show. Running that water going, maybe I'll do it after the show. I had plans.
Just buy like disposable crockery. That will change the opinion in the house very quickly without even having to say anything.
They will just buy into that. They'll be like, great. Can we eat these too?
Damn.
Well, if you gotta do it for the whole family, Steve, you should invest in a pack of paper plates as a plastic forks for that one couple days that you want to give up. Because I gotta tell you, I have some pretty decent dishes, but they don't ever get used.
Yeah.
Problem with paper plates in this house is that I'd end up going to do the dishes, and I'd have to separate. I'd be separating like, okay, plate, paper plate. Why the fuck do they always? There's a towel in here. I'm having a hard enough time trying to get them to stack plates and then cutlery on top. You know that thing where you bring a new plate in and you lift the cutlery up, put it underneath?
Yep.
Yeah, our teenager just likes to throw up everything on top. So it's just all this.
Yep.
20 minutes of sorting before I even start.
Yep.
Sound like an old housewife, but I am an old housewife.
Chris, what about you, my friend?
Well, stuff we're doing. Living. Surviving.
Yep.
Eating dog food.
Yeah. What?
Eating dog food.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to lie. It was actually pretty good, but go to my Instagram to see that. This isn't about that. Smoky flavor. No, I'll be back on Friday with, I can't think right now. I'm so hungry. I have a bunch of things I'm thinking about. Anyways, I'll be back with Anthony Romella and possibly Gigas and maybe a Glenn. Maybe not. We'll see. I did some gaming this weekend on the channel, and I'll probably do some more on this next coming weekend, and that's about it. And I'm not going to like this because I got to go. Nice.
Yes, I'm also suffering from the low blood sugar. Today's a fast day, and I shouldn't do fasting on an Amigos Co because it makes my brain mushy. 100%. I'm just going to last shout out to any of the Australian viewers in this point in time. Support your brick and mortars and your online vendors. Very, very stoked to have this out. It's now finally getting out there, and hook a brother up, bro, and get some in your face hole. That's it. We want to thank you very much for being part of the show and giving up your time on Monday/Tuesday. I think that's it. Yeah. Cool. All right. We will see you next.
To show you.
We will see you next week. Next Monday/Tuesday. Same as always. Be good to you, yourself, personally, and to the others around you. We will see you next week. Yeah.
Put that cookie down.
Put the cookie down.
I gotta get some better sound bites.